3, 2. Wait. 3. 3, 2. 3. Wait. And we're live. All right, go ahead. Give me a.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Heart Next Door podcast. This is a very special episode. This is the New Year episode, right? And so, with this new year, I'm just so honored, and privileged to have an incredible guest, the one and only Whitney Clark.
I'm so excited. This is awesome.
Right?
A little impromptu, but I'm happy I was able to at least sit on my good side.
Oh, listen, you don't have a bad side. You don't at all.
God bless you. Happy New Year. How was your New Year's?
Honestly,
Please be honest. No,
No, it was beautiful, right? Like, we did something really special this New Year's. For those of you who do not know, this is the love of my life, and also he is the one that is behind the scenes, usually making everything look so spectacular and sound spectacular. But yeah, so we met 11 years ago.
Yeah.
And we met at 11 years ago at the Children's Defense Fund, at a conference in Knoxville, Tennessee, of all places, at Alex Haley Farm.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, for New Year's, we went back together as a family, 11 years later, with our 2 kids.
Wasn't that awesome?
And it was the most surreal.
It was just crazy.
Right?
And then to hear about all the history, like I said, I told Ken when he was giving us a tour, shout out to Ken, all of the history that exists there on the farm, and then to know that our story is a part of that story is just such a beautiful thing. So, yeah, I'm happy that we were able to show that to the kids. And obviously they don't necessarily know the significance, but they'll be able to look back at this podcast and the videos that we took. And so,
For sure. And it was really cool, even just like learning more of the history that I'd never learned before.
Yeah.
First off, like, Ken has been there. At least I went there for the first time. That was my first time in 2013, 2014 going. So that's the first time I ever met Ken. And to know that 11 years later, he's still the one answering the phones and working there.
That's kind of crazy, yeah.
It's pretty crazy. And then even just like the history of Alex Haley Farm. I mean, I'd always known that Alex Haley, he wrote Roots. He is, I knew him for that, but I had no idea how big and impactful his legacy was. And touring the farm with Ken was kind of like
seeing it for the first time almost.
Exactly, right?
Yeah, certainly, because Freedom Schools is one experience, and it's surreal. It's in your face. It's like drinking water out of a fire hydrant. And then you're just learning about Ella Baker. You're learning about, what you're going to be doing when you get back home in the summer. Like, there's a lot of different things. And so to be able to go there where it was a lot more calm, nobody there, you know what I mean, and kind of get the story behind the story, it just really, I don't know, it really solidifies it as a sacred space for me. I know it's always been like a sacred space for me, but it's just it just kind of solidifies it. And so to start the year off that way means to start the year off on a high note. What are you looking forward to this year? Can we talk a little bit more about your app? I know that's coming to fruition any day now. I'm excited.
For sure. But I just got to let the people know too, because not only are you the love of my life and the man, behind the scenes.
You better pump me up.
Great, right?
You better pump me up.
But you also are a journalist by trade who taught me everything, which is why you just segued. You're interviewing me now on my podcast.
I'm sorry.
I love it.
Yeah, we're going to keep it going. Yeah, God is good. Yeah.
So, I love the way you did that.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm the guest today. I'm sorry. Let me just answer.
I love it. Yes. No, I'm looking forward to so much this new year. I think we had a conversation this morning, and I feel like we've been really good about like doing vision boards every year, know, and then this last couple of years we came up with like different words to describe our year. And we talked about this morning. Last year my word was bliss, and this year my word is receive. Because as I shared with you, I'm just so thankful for life, right? Just so thankful to God for everything. And I spent so much time last year just like, fully being thankful in it, just like taking every opportunity, just, following my heart, following God. But I realized that I've been praying for abundance, but my mindset wasn't ready to receive it. And there are just like some different like, scarcity walls I have to break down, like different things that like
internal stuff you don't even realize. Yeah, for sure.
You don't even realize. Just like, and it makes me think about when we had Coach Crystal, who's a financial coach, and she's also just like amazing when it comes to taxes. She knows everything about
God bless her.
Business and tax law. Yes, but we had a conversation about that, and
go ahead, finish that. I got it.
Yeah, but we were having a conversation, and Crystal was talking about just the whole principle about like having an abundance mindset versus a scarcity mindset. And one thing that she also shared, which I really, really love, is just talking about sometimes, you don't really realize how many blockages that you have to work through until it comes to certain things. Like, for example, do you like wait to open your bills? Like, do you get anxiety when it comes to opening your checking account, or like looking at different things like that? Different unconscious, like subconscious things that we do every day that we may not realize, like where those blockages are. And I never really thought about myself even having any of those until this past year when, God opened the doors for me in a lot of ways, financially. But I was just like,
yeah. It's a lot, can be a lot.
Yeah. And then it's just like when you get more, it's like God just teach me how not to feel like I have to hold on to it so tightly, like
Yeah.
Because that's not what it's about. That's not what wealth is about. It's about the more we give, the more we receive. Like the more we use money as a tool and not as something that we have to like scrounge onto and hold on to, and we won't ever see.
How are you
again.
working your way out of that? How is it manifest? Like, I know you're big on manifestations and playing things in the house, but what's that process like for you to undo what you've identified as maybe unhealthy mental wiring? How are you working through it?
So definitely a lot of it, like you said, is that, just pouring into myself in different ways when it comes to like, meditations and reading different books and things like that. But also a part of it too is just feeling the fear, like doing it anyway, like catching myself when I have those thoughts, like when I have an anxious moment about the account, like, no, you need to open it now, like instead of letting that anxiety or that tension like build up, no, just do it, like do it. And the only way that we get better is by practicing. So that's what I've been trying.
I found that like setting big goals and then thinking of, what I can do every day to accomplish them is what kind of propels me past the everyday fears. And then sometimes when you look back on that, like when we talk about running for office and the rooms we walked into and the confidence in which we walked into them and the relationships that we made, so on and so forth, that all just kind of happened naturally as a result of kind of setting a goal that was so far outside of our reach that we knew kind of God had to be involved in it. And so, I guess with that being said, like, can you talk a little bit more about what those specific tangible goals are that you set for yourself? Maybe some of those God-sized goals. Can you speak some of them out in the open and really just kind of talk about where they came from?
Oh, for sure. So I have 4 big God-sized goals. And honestly, I recite these like every morning and every night before I go to bed. So the first one is 1 million super users worldwide who love the Heart Next Door app, right? The second one is she gotta go to the bathroom, I think. The second one.
Oh, that's a HIPAA violation. Don't tell her business. Don't. Don't.
HIPAA.
Don't. She is just relaxing. Oh my goodness. The business. Don't.
Oh my gosh, it's a mom thing. Of course, I know my.
I'm just playing.
Yeah, so that one, and then there's also 3 or more paid speaking engagements a month.
Oh, that's beautiful. So wait, so give me the first one was 1 million
Super users worldwide.
super users worldwide.
And so to break that down, so I haven't really even talked about the app too much on here, but basically the Heart Next Door app is this next stage evolution of what's evolved just from our journey. You know, Riel's here, and it's so fitting because I always share this story about like how we even started doing this visual podcast and like the book and everything is because when we had her, it was like a life or death situation. And so from that experience, started learning a lot about maternal health, specifically maternal mortality, and how the U.S. has the highest maternal mortality rate of any developed nation. And in the city of Detroit, where we live, it's 3 times higher than the national average. But the real problem, the real crisis for me is that looking at the data, the CDC says that nearly 80% of all maternal-related deaths are preventable. And so that's been kind of why I really like my pushing. You know,
we can
my
prevent
fuel
this
in the
stuff.
back, right?
Most
so
of
like
this stuff we can prevent
it. So then where's the gap? And so that's why I just started having conversations with different, moms, maternal health experts. And then when Riel turned 1 year old this year, I kind of had that epiphany moment where it's like, okay, so what did we learn? Like, where's the solution? Where do we put our energy now into addressing that 80%? And so that's when I just, being a technology enthusiast, I was like, why not use AI and technology to solve this great problem? And so, so I built the Heart Next Door app, which is a digital doula that puts care and community at the fingertips of new and expecting moms while equipping the providers that serve them with the data needed to intervene and improve maternal health outcomes.
Yeah.
And so, so that's a big goal for me is that for the app to be used. And one thing, too, the way that I'm targeting this is not even from, like, do I want to personally have contact with 1 million moms, right, around the world? But to me, it's about using technology as a capacity builder, right? Because there are existing organizations across the country, across the city, across the globe that are already doing the great work, but just giving them this tool that helps them to be able to do their job better and
centralize
to fill the
information.
Gap. Yeah, so
that's beautiful. I think it's a beautiful thing, because one of the things that has become a reality or like something that I've realized recently is just like the importance of just having children and like repopulating both, our ethnicity, like black people, but then just having families. It just also giving more examples of what, families look like, 2-parent households, quite frankly. I think that's all so important. And so this app is just such a great thing because, again, it's putting, medical professionals. You okay? You all right? You okay? Well, yeah, no. What I was saying is that it's really a life-saving resource, that you're developing, that you've developed, and so yeah, I'm grateful for it, and I know that having walked with you side by side with Riel, just having the resources together, making things easier because the pregnancy experience, maybe you can talk to this a little bit more than I can, but the pregnancy experience is such a tumultuous in some ways, up and downs emotionally. And so to have all of the things that you really, really need centralized is important. Yeah.
For sure. I think, Mama May said we got to cut it short today, but I think also another thing too, and you can definitely speak to it a lot because I think one of the elements of our story that really influenced the app is just the fact that because of the way that Riel was born, and because I was unconscious initially, you were the first one to meet her. You were the first one to hold her, to feed her, and like a lot of times, even through doing customer discovery
She
and
say
just
you
having
not,
different
you not talking loud
conversations.
enough.
Even having different conversations, a lot of times, like, dads are a huge part of the process, like you're saying, but dads aren't always involved, you know, right? And like that morning, like you should have been able to come back with me when she was born, right? But you weren't able to. Like they basically, you know, we thought that you were going to be able to come in at first, but then they just let you come by, and they almost didn't even remember to let you come back. I had to tell them, like, where's my, you know, like my husband's supposed to be able to come back and like say hi or, you know, say goodbye, or whatever.
Or
and
see you later,
at least see you later, you know. So so that's a huge part of the app. Also has like a feature where dads can opt in to get updates too.
She knows what she's doing, Mom. She knows what she's doing. It looks as though we're going to have to cut our time short today. Obviously, it's you make the final choice decision on that. But I do want to in the future talk a little bit more about really maybe we can do maybe a tutorial of the app and just kind of how it works. I think that would be so cool, so that you can just see some of those features. Let me ask you this before we wrap. Is there like a social media component where people can just kind of interact? Is it just exclusive to expecting mothers and their partners, or is just going to be maybe a social media platform that people can use, or what do you foreseeing?
Yeah, so definitely in the future we'll have that element, but right now what we do, one of the big features in the app too is like the village feature, where moms can basically based on where they live, by entering their zip code, find different social groups to do just that, to be able to socialize. Because again, too, one thing that's so interesting to me is that we live in such a digital age, but we've never been more isolated.
Yeah.
Like we've never been more alone. And so I don't want it to be seen as like a replacement for social contact, but like a conduit for people to be able to find those people that they
almost like a mommy meetup. Not to
like a middleman though. Because we have a couple events a year, I will say that, but basically we're just connecting them with organizations like the Mom Wellness Cave that has regular groups. Or like if you live in Dallas, okay, here's, you know, a group that you can connect with that offers this kind of support. Or like, you know, Brilliant Detroit or Brilliant Philadelphia. So that's one thing that we do feature, is just like that, helping to bridge the gap and connect them that way.
That's awesome. Okay, well, listen, let's talk a little bit more about it in future episodes, because I would really like to see how it works. You know, I'm a visual learner. You know, I don't.
Yeah, and another thing too that we did over the holidays is we did a Built for Mom series. So there are, if you go to our YouTube channel at The Heart Next Door, there are videos where we walk through the 5 key features and how they address different elements that new and expecting moms may be faced with. So yeah, that's an exciting thing that you can check out. And then we also, since it's the holidays now, we've opened it up. Like after we did our soft launch in October, we just spent that time doing like customer discovery interviews and just going and sharing it with different organizations and different groups. And so now, since the holidays, we open it up to now. If you go to heartnextdoor.com, you yourself, anybody, any mom can download it now and try it for themselves. So yeah, check it out.
That's beautiful. Last but not least, is there an upcoming event where, I know that you did an event with Black Tech Saturday, shout out to them, I think it was a holiday party. Is there another event that you have on your calendar where you're going to be modeling the app?
Yeah,
if so, when is that?
Yes, so later this month, I will be going to speak to the Loop Clinic and like share it with their staff. And then also another organization local here in Detroit, Black Mothers Breastfeeding. I'll be sharing it with a couple of their doulas too. But honestly, and also the Detroit Women's Commission, I'm definitely going to, you know, go and share it with them. And also the Wayne State University, they have a project launch, which is like a board of different, I would say, family wellness and prenatal health advocates and I'll just share with them because that gave them initial presentation, but they just wanted to know when it's launched to come back and share it with them. So yeah, anybody, honestly, really, you can if you go to not even just the website, but if you go to follow me on Instagram or TikTok or any social, you'll see the link tree that I have where you can schedule a call if you're interested in, pursuing it for your organization or checking it out for your group. Then yeah, you can do it there, and I'm always open to conversations and always happy and excited to show it to everyone.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I appreciate you for having me on today and talking a little bit more about the app. And I can say from a father's perspective, one of the things that I've learned really more so with Riel is that parenting and this entire journey of bringing a family up is really a beautiful thing. If you really get involved, if you really participate as a man, I think it's something that I describe it as the hidden joy that you didn't know about. You know what I mean? So being a part of it and doing the appointments and getting into it and knowing when the baby's forming and all this other stuff, it's a beautiful thing. A life that you create and a legacy that you can be a part of. And so that's my spiel, as far as encouraging fathers to be more involved in the process and in parenting.
I love that. And you said you're thanking me for having you on, but really, I should be thanking you because you're the one that interviewed me.
Well, yeah. Well,
so I appreciate you. And I also would be remiss if we didn't even give an opportunity for you to just share more, because I know you wrote a book as well.
Oh, yeah, fathers. Certainly.
So could you tell us more about that? Because you kind of talked about, the father's perspective, how important it is, but just tell us more about your book.
Yeah, certainly. The book that I wrote is entitled The Awakening, and it's a guided journal. It's made for self-reflection, and I basically talk about the challenges that I faced as a husband, as a father, coming to the city of Detroit, quite frankly, to save our marriage. And I just talk about the challenges that we faced from my perspective. And I really, really, really kind of, the story itself kind of takes place at that pivotal moment of darkness where most men face an opportunity to self-reflect and rebuild, or just kind of play pity party, you know what I mean? And so I just kind of talked about the lessons that I learned and the decisions that I made and the routine that I built. And I said, and I also, it's also a guided journal. So as I'm telling this story, I'm asking questions about, where the reader is on their journey. And so it's a great book. I encourage, people to purchase it for the young man or the significant other in their life. It's entitled The Awakening by Whitney Clark. And so yeah, thank you for that. It's a book that means a lot to me, and it's something that I think would be a great guided journal for the new year.
For sure, without a doubt. And even, Nellings, I have a couple more questions for you, because this is the first time we got to interview a dad,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, you interviewed me before just like this.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't really get to talk about you. So, from a dad's perspective, too, I'm curious, what has been your biggest lesson that you've learned this past year? What's the biggest thing, especially now as a dad of two?
Yeah.
What's been your biggest lesson in fatherhood?
Yeah, I mean, my biggest lesson so far up until this point is just to get into it, get into it and enjoy it. It's I think this most recent season in my life really let me know that the prime isn't somewhere that I'm like trying to work my way into. We're living in the greatest years of our lives, right now, raising this family in this city. And so, yeah, enjoying it right now, getting into it, and not having the type of goals and aspirations. You want to be big, but you don't want them to be something that keeps you from, acknowledging the beauty of right now, And so I'm just trying to.
Yes, ma'am.
I get it. Yeah. So that's just the thing. It's just enjoying it. Yeah, enjoying it. And now this next, I guess this next season, I really want to just focus more on that parenting relationship balance. You know what I mean? That's really one of the things that I kind of want to focus on more. But you know, as you know, in marriage and in life, sometimes it feels as though you're kind of going from season to season.
Yeah,
you know,
for
where it's
sure.
like, okay, this season, this is the goal, and this season, and with that being said, you kind of feel like you end up waiting for the season where it's just about relaxing or enjoying, and so yeah, just wanting to bake that in. I'm realizing that we kind of have to bake it in. There's not going to necessarily be a season of rest, especially if you always got goals and right.
Yeah.
So you just got to bake it in, date night, and you know, moments to get away, moments to disconnect. You got to bake all of that in.
Yeah.
It's kind of, you know, is what I'm learning.
Yeah, okay. Well, looks like
I think that's it. Yeah.
Right? Ready for us to
The boss
go.
has spoken. The boss
she's
has
a real
spoken.
boss. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but just such an honor to have you on here, and I would be remiss if I didn't just, let you know and let everyone know how much we appreciate you as a man and as a father.
Mm-hmm.
You have.
All right, Rebe. We're almost done, Mama.
You've just been amazing. So thank you so much, and thank you all for listening, and thank you, Ria, for joining us.
We love
Gonna
you.
get this
She
baby
doesn't
taken
like
care of.
when people talk for an extended period of time and it
it's
not be
about her.
Yeah, we've got to tie her in some type of way.
Yeah.
I love your hair.
Yes. All right.
I love this
everyone.
jacket.
I know, right? Well, Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New
You want
Year's.
to tell everybody where they can connect with you?
Yeah, right here. Like, just like, share, subscribe our YouTube, and you can click the link wherever it appears, and you can find our book and some of the upcoming events we have. We have a vision board party and a Super Bowl party that's coming up soon, so we love for you to join either of those. So,
all right.
but our producer's rapping us.
Yes,
She's rapping
exactly. Well, Happy New Year, everyone. We'll see you next time on The Heart Next Door.
Peace. We're done. We're done.